Whenever the topic of battles between business owners and trolls ever comes up, people always seem to know about the story of Amy's Bakery in Sedona. It's kind of a textbook case of a business that went toe to toe and lost. It started small. It was like one bad Yelp review, and then the owner, Amy, fired back with her own nasty reply. This was all running concurrent with them appearing on Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, and that went terribly wrong. So Reddit and Yelp like piled on after it aired, and in response, the owners just melted down and everything was just off the rails. Facebook all cap replies, insulting comments, suggestions that somehow the FBI would be investigating everyone who posted negative comments, then claiming that their account had been hacked. It grew so big that Forbes magazine actually used these reactions as a poster example of how a business should never respond to comments on social media. The restaurant became a tourist attraction. Like people drove there to gawk, and it finally closed in 2015. And listen, I don't know the business owners. I certainly am not here to defend the business owners. But one thing I know is it is a tough position to find yourself in when you have poured everything into building a business and building a brand and feel like you are under attack. And no one just wakes up knowing how to navigate this. And the truth is, that's only one example. Business owners encounter trolls every single day. And frankly, the folks at Amy's Bakery, they did become trolls themselves, but a lot of times it's not that way. A lot of times the business owner is just trying to fight for what they've built and fight for the truth the best way that they know how. Now, the story can sound extreme, but I think it all points to a larger problem. So as we are increasingly valuing customer feedback in our quest to be found, more and more people recognize that these reviews can actually be weaponized against us. A lot of business owners report to me a really common experience is having a disgruntled customer actually threaten to leave a bad review. It happens all the time. There was a boutique hotel that I heard of that felt so vulnerable and so desperate that they actually hatched a plan to try to control reviews. And it was their plan to fine wedding parties $500 for every negative review that guests posted. And this was picked up by the New York Post. And when they ran the story, the internet just buried them. And Yelp ended up removing more than like 3,000 of these piled on posts, beating these people up. And the owner apologized, saying that he was embarrassed and that it was just, a joke that had gone very, very badly. Not every one of these incidents makes the news, and it's really easy to stand in judgment of these business owners. But the truth is, we just had a business owner in our community share that he lost an entire weekend to what started out as one stranger in the comments. Started small. It was one nasty remark on a post. The business owner replied. He was polite at first. The stranger fired back, so he replied again, a little sharper, back and forth, back and forth. Saturday morning becomes Saturday night, becomes Sunday. And here's the part that still gets me. He was right. On the facts, on the face of it, he was completely right. But every reply that he wrote made the fight bigger and gave the other person exactly what they came for. It gave them an audience. And by Monday, he was exhausted. The thread had like 300 some comments, and people who had never even heard of his business now knew him as the guy fighting in the comments. And trolls attract other trolls, and the internet does what the internet does. So, what do? Do you just lay down and watch the reputation that you've poured everything into building just get trashed? This is Publicist in Your Pocket. I'm Cindy Harrison from PR Shield, and today we're going to talk about how to navigate trolls and haters. Remember, crisis is a spectrum, and the troll lives right on it, usually on the low end, but capable of climbing really, really fast if you feed it. The good news is handling it well is not about being clever or being thick skinned. It's about one diagnosis that you need to make at the outset before you ever type a single word. There's one question that can really change your mindset about this. Before you respond to anyone who's ever coming at you, ask one question. Does this person want a resolution or do they want an audience? Because some people are genuinely upset and they want it fixed. They are frustrated, maybe they're loud, but they are reachable because they want a problem solved. They want to be heard. Other people have no interest in a fix. They are looking for a stage. They are performing for their followers, for your followers, for the drama, for the fight itself. No answer that you give will ever be enough because being satisfied was never the goal. Resolution or audience. So if you get that right, you're going to almost always know what to do next. So if they want resolution, then you treat them like the upset customer that they are. You acknowledge their experience without necessarily agreeing that you were wrong or apologizing if you weren't. You stay calm, you stay human, and you take it offline really fast, but you lean into that center. You get to the heart of the matter and you deal with a real name, a real email, a real phone, not a contact form. And most of the time, if you focus on resolution and let this troll know that you are on the same side, you're also looking to get to that resolution as quickly as possible. Most of the time, you can find your way to the end quietly just by making the person feel heard. Now, if they want an audience, never give them the stage. You don't debate, you don't match their energy. Engagement is oxygen, so you have to starve it. If it crosses a line with threats or slurs or lies or name calling or picking on your staff, you don't argue, you report it. That's a guidelines violation, and reporting is your move, not replying. You need to document everything. You need to screenshot before they delete it. And you need to remember who's really watching. Your response is never for the troll. It's for the next 50 customers reading the thread, deciding whether to trust you. Calm and quiet wins the audience. A fight loses it. But let's back up first. A lot of business owners have employees that are involved in managing their social media. So it's really important that you never put yourself or your team in the position of just freestyling a response on the fly. So that's why we have a really easy to complete course in the community that you can walk through with them right now. It's free before anything ever rises to the level of a full-blown crisis. And whether you get that training in our community or somewhere else, it is essential that you have a plan in place because it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Because I can tell you that a lot of the communications crises that I have seen over my many years of doing this work start with a well-intended employee who made things worse because they thought they were sticking up for the business that they work for. It happens a lot, actually. And second, you have to know your line. So when one troll becomes a pylon, like a local Facebook group or a coordinated wave, a thread that is climbing that spectrum, that crisis spectrum faster than you can track, that's the moment to stop improvising and get a steady and experienced hand involved. This is when it's really nice to find a trusted advisor, someone on the outside looking in to help you navigate. You don't have to be calm in that moment. You just need to activate a plan that you already have in place for navigating a crisis because we are all going to have them. It's not a matter of if, but when. So, here are some of the ways that you can actually stand up for yourself without becoming the troll. So, first, you need to give yourself permission to respond, but make sure that you respond once, you respond for the record, and then you stop. You are allowed one calm, factual reply. Sometimes you can set that reply up in a similar way that you would set up a hold statement. You can say your piece plainly one time for the people watching. The first response speaks for you. The second, third, and fourth time, you start to turn into the story. So, standing up is not silence, it's one clean statement and then just walking away from the keyboard. So give yourself permission to level one calm, calculated response and then walk away. And if you do choose to respond, make sure that you are connecting with facts, not feelings. So if someone posts something that's just false, like they stole my money, then that answer, any answer, is going to be really sticky. You may be tempted to respond something like, well, our records show a full refund went out on May 3rd. But that could really backfire. So you need to always drive the solution offline and you need to publicly invite the troll to a person to person conversation so that you can work together to a resolution. Now, even if you thoroughly believe in your heart that they aren't interested in a resolution, they're here for the audience, still, that's the offer that you make in your response should you choose to respond. Also, the third thing is you need to set a boundary and you need to do so out loud. So it is completely fair to name this line publicly. So you can say something like, we are always glad to make a real problem right. We don't engage with personal attacks. Doing that is assertive and it signals to any onlooker that you are the reasonable one in this exchange. Also, fourth, I would say there are a lot of tools at your disposal. Don't overlook them. Most platforms have tools. One of my favorite is Facebook has a hide feature. And tools like this, whether it's hide or block or report, they are designed for situations just like this, so use them. Next, be sure that you document everything. So, everything tends to start really small. You're going to want to make sure that you are taking screenshots with dates and links because they can always delete them later. And sometimes standing up for yourself means quietly building a record for an appeal to the platform or even beyond that. I mean, we really hope it doesn't happen, but there is always the possibility that this could escalate into a full-blown crisis, a defamation claim, or even, legal action if it crosses into threats. So make sure that you are documenting things along the way. Also, don't swing alone. So sometimes your supporters can do the heavy lifting, and if you'll make that calculated response and then step away. A loud hater can be met by a wall of genuinely happy customers. And you may be surprised to see how much your community actually has your back. So, you standing up doesn't mean that it has to be you personally throwing all of these punches. If you do choose to respond, let me give you this piece of advice. Respond from strength and calm, never from adrenaline. Sleep on anything. Now, that said, you will also hear me say in our training course, you'll hear me say that timing is really important and you do need to get ahead of the messaging. But When it is a troll and it is a conversation that is happening, give yourself permission. It may not be a literal sleep on it, it may not be an actual 12-hour cycle, but make sure that you take your time to really contain your emotions. I can tell you that every regret it later post that has ever been written was probably written in the first 10 minutes. And honestly, this is just another reason that I am really proud of the PR Shield community. I feel like I plug it a lot, but honestly, come and hang out with us. We will be your shoulder to cry on because believe me, we have all been there. And you can complain about the trolls to us and it will never leave us because these things are so common and they aren't going away anytime soon. So, here is your action step. I want you to anticipate. It is such an important step to anticipate the trolls now while things are calm so that next time someone comes at you, you'll be able to see it for what it is with wide open eyes and be able to identify what they are aiming for, resolution or audience. And then respond to the one that you're actually dealing with, not the one that your adrenaline thinks that you are dealing with. Everyone wants to talk about promote, 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 but what about protecting what you've built? It would seem that nobody is talking about that. So that's why we're here. I'm Cindy Harrison. This is Publicist in your pocket. And I believe that no creator, founder, or leader should ever have to pour everything into building a brand. And then when something goes sideways, just figure it out and defend it all alone. We have a free course inside of our community that helps you build a full and robust crisis communication plan. It leaves you and your team feeling empowered, ready for the trolls, and it's free inside the PR Shield community. I can't wait to see you there. See you next time.